Welcome back, audiophiles and trolls. That's right, I didn't say ladies because odds are there's no ladies watching. Not yet, anyway. That's what YouTube has been telling me as far as my analytics is concerned. Apparently, my audience is 100% male. I mean, there's no ladies that are audiophiles? Or there are no ladies? Look at me thinking I'm a statistics with 300 subscribers at this point. All right. Phono. Let's talk about phonos. No, we're going to talk about a phono. All right, so let's establish what I've been doing. I have a Rega P6 with a Benz Micro moving coil low output cartridge. I've had that combination now for a few years. I enjoy it very much. I started with a Rega moving cartridge phono, which is about $500. I bought it at the same time as I bought the P6, and I went from there. I got to use an ear 834P that I borrowed from a friend of mine. I had it for about 6 months. From there, I tried a Moon 110 V2, I think it was. Yeah, not the latest one, not the latest iteration of their entry level of Sim Audio's phono stages, just the previous version of their entry level. Which one do I prefer out of the 4 phono stages I just mentioned? Musical Paradise MP-P2. Yep. Why do I like it better? Soundstage, bass response. Wow, there is so much more bass and so much cleaner bass and more visceral bass with this phono stage than there was with the other ones that I mentioned. I love the soundstage. I love the bass. I love the airiness and the detail and the micro detail that it has. I'm not convinced right now because I'm not A/B testing this with the other phono stages that I had that I mentioned already. I'm not convinced that it's the most dynamic or the fastest one of the phono stages I had. I have a feeling that the Rega MC and the Moon were slightly faster. There was a rhythm to it. Like, I don't know, I had a little bit of energy when it came to speed that I'm not sure this one comes close. But, not sure this one surpasses it, but it's close. It's the one thing I'm nitpicking at. Now, am I nitpicking at that because I've advanced a little bit in my audio journey, so my standards have gotten different than what they were when I was using the Rega MC or the ear? Possible. It's possible. I'll ask my friend at some point if I have time to reborrow his ear 834 and try it again and do a one-to-one comparison. Yep, so pros, soundstage, massive, air, and bass. Those three, it does this so much better than the other ones that I have that I don't care about a couple of the things that it doesn't quite do as well because it's still close enough in those categories. But the categories that it does better are like up here compared to the other ones that were down here. Really good stuff. And the magic, I think, of this phono stage is really going to come when I start tube rolling and I upgrade the capacitors. Yeah. There's a C2. I think there's 3 capacitors or 4. Sorry about that. Didn't mean to looking up your dress. Yeah, so there's 4 capacitors per channel. I'm educating myself. I'll make another video to explain what capacitors I changed in here because they're so easy to do. It's just a matter of unscrewing. You just unscrew 2 little screws. They look like speaker terminals basically. Pop those out. Cut the tie wrap that's holding the capacitor down. Put the other capacitor in. Screw them back down. Retighten it with a tie down, a tie wrap, and you're done. That's it. So I'm looking at clarity caps. I'm looking at Mondorf caps, maybe Jupiter's. We'll see. I don't know. I've never rolled caps on something before, so I'm really excited to do this one. Now, some of the things that I'm not too sure about at this point. I think the first thing that bothers me with this phono stage is the gain settings. I find this to be very loud. Even when I lower, and maybe it's just my cartridge, and I think there is such a thing as a synergy between a phono stage and a cartridge. I'm kind of reduced to one gain setting with my cartridge, which is the lowest gain setting, because this thing starts at 100 dB of gain. It's just way too loud for my cartridge. So I had to bring it down. I had to lower it by 8 dBs, so that then it became nice again, and the dynamics came back. So that's the one thing I had a little issue with. Maybe I could also change that if I, instead of putting 6922s in there, put a derivative of those tubes that with a lower gain, like a 12AT7 maybe, because I think it's like the equivalent of 12AX7s in there, which is the highest gain. Maybe I could do that too, but before I do that, I'm still having a conversation with the owner and designer of Musical Paradise, just to make sure that I educate myself properly, and I go in the right direction for both the tubes and the capacitors. So the other thing that I think will be a problem for most people, that I didn't have an issue with it, but it's the size. This thing's massive. It's humongous. It weighs, I'll say, close to 30 pounds, maybe 20, 25 pounds. Yeah, not 30. Between 20 and 25. It is humongous. Very heavy at the front because the toroids are in the front. Yeah, some people are going to have to use a shoehorn to get this into their furniture. It's bigger than most integrated amplifiers you come across. Yep, so that's amazing. So let's have a look inside. Let's jump in. Here's the toroids I was talking about before. There's two of them, and in the middle you can see where the fuse is, where you can easily swap that fuse in and out. Yeah, so to give you an idea of the size of these toroids, well, you get an idea from the rectifier tubes that are there. I'd say they're roughly the size of a human fist. And you have some convenient switches if you are going to change the voltage for the tube rectifiers that you're going to use. So here's one channel. So both channels sides look identical. And you have the 3 tubes, the 4 capacitors that are there. And here's another view actually where you see the covers, the tube covers, to reduce any emissions or interferences that could affect the tubes. This is quite common, actually. You see this in a lot of hi-fi components with tubes. And you can see like an alternate shot of the rectifier tubes. What's awesome about the phono stage also is that it has a lot of impedance selections, which I'll put up on screen. You're going to see the output gain settings that you can select, and then you're going to see also the impedance settings. So I started at the lowest. I had to bring it down at the lowest because when I leave the output gain at default where everything's on, so 0, apparently that's equivalent of 100 dB of gain. That is way too much. For my cartridge, I had to bring it down by 7 dBs, I think, which is the biggest setting, the lowest setting we can do. And for the impedance with my cartridge, I find the 100, 200 ohms and 167 ohm all to be within the best. I find when I go to 600 ohms, things start to become a little bit thinner. So in the sound, I try not to go above 200 ohms with this one, with my cartridge. Anyway, all in all, that's it. So stay tuned, guys, because the part 2 video I'm going to make with this phono stage will be when I have some tubes rolled into this and or capacitors. In either cases, what I am going to do is I will do sound clips comparing the before and after, and give you guys also an idea of if there are any changes to the soundstage in depth or whatnot. I'm going to try to do a visual representation of that. So that being said, thanks for coming. Hope you guys join me on part 2, which will be coming up not too long from now. All right, bye. Welcome to YouTube. Hi, Penny. Come here, Penny. Oh my God. Oh, I guess it's gonna need another Another take. Okay, get down, Penny. Get down.